was it to get this particular fight back? Just because of the 15 seconds, I know you were disappointed more so for the fans' sake and the entertainment part of it, but you know, I guess for a fighter, it's important to move ahead and put a chapter of a fighting career behind them. Was it important to get this particular fight, or just getting back as quickly as possible?
It was the only fight that made sense. There's no other fights in Bellator heavyweight division right now that make sense more than Kharitonov and I, or me. That's it. So it's the only one that I knew I was going to get. There was no reason for me to fight anybody else. And after I beat Kharitonov, which I believe I will, then whatever happens, happens. I don't have enough zeros in my paycheck to make that decision. But I do know that he and I are 2-3, 3-2, the best heavyweights in heavyweight division behind Bader. And I think that this here is a fight that had to happen. So I'm excited to get it done.
6 months is a while. So
long time.
Do you wish it was happening sooner, obviously? But
of course.
Or was it kind of a blessing that it was 6 months out?
No, I wish it happened sooner. I asked for it the next day. I asked for it on Saturday.
Right.
Asked for it in Chicago, I think in May 11th. And I get it in October.
There you go.
August.
Summer in New England.
Whatever.
But a hot day.
You were at the press event earlier.
Yeah.
The city of Bridgeport just.
It was like 100 degrees, man. It was so hot, like 10 o'clock in the morning. How was it so hot, man?
I have a headache from that.
Golly.
I came from Western Mass, so it was like 79 degrees.
Yeah,
Right there.
not so
That's
much,
like
man.
92 degrees.
Yeah,
here, which
not
is
so
crazy.
much.
In terms of just being a part of that event, being a part of the growth of MMA in Connecticut, I mean, obviously there's been fights in Mohegan and Foxwoods and things like that, but this is a big deal for the state of Connecticut and for Bridgeport itself. What was it like to be a part of that event and be a part of the growth?
Well, it's pretty cool, and it's nice to. Mohegan was great to me. Foxwoods was great as well, but you don't get a feel for the culture or the state or the city or the vibe when you're in a casino. You just don't. Same thing at MGM. You don't get a flavor for it. It's just its own entity. So it's nice to be able to get out and then go walk up and down the streets and meet people and see the architecture and the city and go to restaurants. So it's nice to be able to do that. So I'm really happy this all worked out, because not that Connecticut hasn't been great, but it's great to actually get a chance to be in Connecticut now.
After a quick fight like the first one, how did you burn off all that extra adrenaline?
It's a good question. I didn't go drinking. I don't know what I did, but I don't know. Good question.
I think you do know.
Yeah.
But
Well,
maybe.
yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
How do you see this one playing out on Saturday after all this time?
Kharitonov's a really tough dude, man. He's durable, patient. So I see myself getting my hand raised. I don't see it being easy, and he's tough, man. He's weathered, and he's a formidable challenge. It's legit. I'm looking forward to it.
As you walked in, as you were pushing Danny into the room, we were talking about season 10 of Tough and all this stuff that's been going on. I mean, you've had a long career.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that, kind of looking back. It just seems like only yesterday that we were introduced to you. How much have you grown? Like, what's the biggest difference between the Matt Mitrione then to the Matt Mitrione we're going to see in the cage on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know. Funny, we were talking about that yesterday, and it's like that I've had a certain career. I've been successful to a point, especially for not having fights before and not being in the sport at all. And it's like my fan base just isn't much. I'm appreciated as a fighter, but my fan base isn't high. Like my social medias and whatever else, my viewership I think is rather decent, but it's not top of the charts. And we were talking about it, and it's like it's almost a thought that the Ultimate Fighter has followed me straight through. Where it's like people are like, oh, they knew him as a jerk off, blah blah blah, on the Ultimate Fighter, so that's got to be who he is now. So fuck that dude still. And it's interesting that, and I understand that like MMA fans are highly fickle, right? So I wonder if like Junie Browning would be the exact same way, or this other person would be the exact same way if they still had a career, or even if it was a moderately successful career. So I wonder, and it's interesting to see that. And the response was, look, dude, it doesn't really matter, because pretty much everything I do somehow ends up on a highlight film. Either like my eye, good or bad, positive or negative, kicking Kharitonov in his nuts, or me knocking out Fedor the way it happened, or whatever else, ends up in some kind of a highlight. So the world sees it regardless whether they go to your page to see it or not. So just keep being the highlight that you are, whether it's with your mouthpiece, hopefully not, but it's, or with your hands, so, or your shins for that matter. So whatever it is, just keep doing it. So Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was going with that. I'm just rambling. Sorry.
Do you hope that someday people can kind of get past tough and all that stuff? I mean, look at a guy like Chris Leben. He was a nightmare on that show.
I'm a decade in. He's loved, right? Yeah. I'm a decade in, man. So, and if you don't like me by now, you're not gonna like me. So go to hell. Like, I really don't care. And there's really, like, it's more of like a position. Like, well, like, if you don't understand me, then either you're not, you just don't get it, or you just don't care enough to try to get it. Either which way, I'm not going to change your opinion. So have a good time being whoever you are, man. I'm still going to be me, and I'm getting paid for it. So have a good time.
If all goes the way you think it will on Saturday, which you're not going to expect yourself to lose here, it's belt or bust at this point. I mean, you talk about where we're at in the heavyweight division right now. This fight is the only one that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is the belt the only thing that makes sense?
Well, I don't compete for red ribbons, So I want the best opportunities possible. And after I handle this one, which will be tough, but after I handle this one, then we'll see. Like I said, man, if I had more zeros on my check, I'd make a decision. But I'm just a lowly pauper.
You recently were at Submission Underground 8. How'd you like the experience?
It was cool, man. It was cool. Good experience. Good grappling match. And I've never done anything like that, really. I've done 2 grappling matches before. I won a Naga belt. But it was cool, man. It was fun.
Can you see yourself doing more of those grappling?
Yeah, I got no fear to grapple, man. So absolutely. Yeah, I get down, I grapple. I've grappled some of the best in the world. Got my ass kicked a lot. But it's still fun. Have a good time.